Hello and welcome, Snake here. Today, thanks to Tier Maker, I'm going to make another tier list. This is an amazing tool. Link is down below because I promised that to creator of Tier Maker that I will do it every time I make a video with their tool. Thank you. And today's is the Beastmen. It's time for Beastmen, and half of a Beastmen roster is something I don't know how to describe. The reason for that is I don't really use multiple... I mean, I play Beastmen once every couple of months, so, you know, my memories get rusted. Then I play it again, and I always go for the same things, because they are the best. As always, I have my game open, so you can see what's going on here, and yeah. So, without further ado, I would say let's go and do stuff. I'm gonna mess up some names for sure, so sorry for that. And remember, I evaluate units based on my experience, on my journey with the game due to being, disabled. I struggle with neurological disease that cause some effects on my muscles, which sometimes affect my gameplay, which in the long run can just, determine how I evaluate unit. So if you disagree with me, deal with it. That's all I have to say. So, yeah, let's go. One and only infantry with the missile Gors Raiders, and I will say they're very good. This is literally the only missile you're gonna have, and I evaluate them on the possibilities of what you have within roster. You don't have any missile infantry, and you can build up so many armies with only these, and you will be successful if you play smart enough. They are not that great when it comes to combat potential, which, it's like, hold on, this is like armor piercing 1, base missile 12. So it's obviously meant to be more like a early game, but you can use it in late game as well. So really, really good unit. Despite being crap, it's still good because it has stock. So stock makes a difference. On the other hand, Gors Spearmen is absolute crap. Don't even take it. If you want to if you have to recruit something, take Gors Raider. They're also stocking. I mean, the Spearmen, but their combat potential is just don't bother. Really, don't bother. There's 160 of them. So no, just absolutely don't even bother. When it comes to Gors Herd and Gors Spearman Herd, so this is Gors Herd and Gors Spearman, that's what I would say. Recruit only if you need anything at the melee infantry at the front with Gors Raiders. Don't increase capacity. Don't ever waste dread on them. Just recruit if you need a filler. That's their only job, I swear. Because they're not useful for this case. They're expendable more than you could even think. And next up we have Gors and Gors with dual weapons. Gors and Gors with dual weapon could be better, because they are, I mean, I would put them here as well, but they're not as crap as I believed initially. But why would you pick literally any of them when you can have the better version, right? So let's look. Why would you pick these if you can have these, right? When it comes to capacity... Oh. Okay, so... Oh my god. Okay, I just realized Bestigors are... They're all separate. Oh my god. Oh, this is bullshit. For a long time, I believed Pestigors are linked as, Centigors. Why would you do it? Why would you ever do it? This makes no sense, okay? So, okay, I need to, evaluate that a little bit better. How to tackle this? Oh, and Angor Raiders are unlimited, so that's another benefit, That's a great filler. But holy fuck. Okay, so based on their combat potential, all these 3 units are okay. Based on dread, Jesus, don't ever spend dread on it. Seriously. Don't ever spend dread on it. Okay, so these units are okay. All of them. They're, I would say the Zinchen Zangors are the best. Because defensively. Korngors are the best offensively. But don't ever spend dread. I mean, if you have a fantasy to granted, there might be a discounted, sometimes with the moon, the full moon, Beastmen has the full moon mechanic. The dark moon, okay, whatever. That sometimes comes with the bonuses at the end of a cycle, right? So sometimes you can increase capacity discounted by 50%. And I wouldn't still increase capacity whatsoever on any of the infantry except Bestigors, which are amazing. If you give them to, if you gave them to Kazrak, this is a doom stack, okay? Outside of that, very, very good killing machine. Also stocking. Oh wait, they don't. Oh my bad. They stuck with Kazrak one eye, and I think there need to be hero. Wargor requires Jesus. I don't even remember now. Yeah, but you need a Wargor, and you do simply is that 1 Wargor, 2 Gorbles, and Kazrak is the, and plenty of them. I would throw a shaman there to have a magic, and this way you have a wonderful, wonderful doom stack, okay? Because they get stock in that case, and they can do a lot of nasty, nasty things. They're really good. But outside of that, they're still very good, so I rate them on a potential with their lord, okay? But I would say they're the best from infantry, so they're amazing when it comes to comparing to any infantry that they have in the roster. They're absolute kings, and you can do some nasty things with them. And trust me, increasing capacity for 1 army is enough, okay? Because the dread... Let me look on it. Yeah, I have to switch it over and over, so yeah. So they start with 500. Gors starts with 400. No, just don't ever waste dread. Dread is such a valuable currency. You really don't want to spend it on that. If you want to spend it on infantry, it has to be Bestigors. They are the best. Now the cavalry, and holy crap, how to evaluate? Okay, I'll make it simple. Centigors and Centigors with great weapons, I would say they are very good. And it's rarely I say that about cavalry, and I'm usually I evaluate them lower, but in Beastmen, they were great. I built an armies full of Centigors, and they were ripping the fuck out of everything. Centigors of Zinj, holy hell, they are a powerhouse. Armor-piercing powerhouse. Really magic attack. And they have, really good stuff. Apparently there was some bugs within this, so there was immediately, full immediately, apparently. There were some other bugs, apparently, with that. But, jokes aside, if you cast a couple of spells, even if it's fixed, they're really powerful. And trust me, they destroy, because they also have barrier, but they destroy armor-piercing cav. When you go face-to-face with other cav, Centigors of Zinj are winning. The only problem might be their poor speed? Ish? Depends what are you against, because you tend to get that frenzy gives you 10% speed, so you have like 90 speed at least, and they have perfect vigor if their leadership is good. So 90 speed, 90 speed, vanguard deployment, just you won't believe it until you try it, how powerful they are. And the other Centigors, because the capacity with Dread is you spend one and you get one of each, I tend to mix them and they work like a charm. The only exception are the Centigors with throwing axes. I hate throwing axes animation. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it's always really feels clunky, feels slow. It's annoying. And I get it that because of the throwing axes, the range weapons, they are a little bit weaker on the, combat potential. Technically, they have the same stats as the Centigors of Zinj base. But it's not like that. The Centigors of Zinj are superior. Technically, the weapon strength is like the regular Centigor, so it's pure base weapon with some armor piercing on top of it. Okay. Missile strength is quite heavy on armor piercing as well, so they will do a lot of damage to, armor piercing stuff that is chasing them, for instance. But I just... that requires a lot of micro. Even more than with Cav. And often it's just too painful for me to do it, so I just ignore this throwing axes. I tried, I failed, I hate it. That's it. It's nothing personal. I'm sure a better player could appreciate them. But Centigors and Beastmen are better than I ever thought. They're really, really fucking good. Which is unusual for me to saying about Cavalry. In Chaos Warriors, it's not like that for some reason. Probably because, I tend to... every army I always drop 2 Gorbles, because 1 Gorble give a melee attack around them and weapon strength, I think. Something like that. And the other one gives armor and missile resistance. So I parry them to make, everything just better. Also, I tend to have a Gorble, a Wargor that gives melee defense and leadership. So, I always parry them up for these things. That's why they work better. Maybe Chaos Warriors could do it. I would have to practice that. But honestly, yeah, that's about it when it comes to Centigors. When it comes to chariots, I would say never use them. Okay, I might be just brutal on them. So let's be fair. They could be better. Because I feel using chariots is such a downgrade here. If I want to use chariot, I'm going to use a wargor on it. Because it's way better. I feel like they're too slow and too crap to do anything. And yeah, I know good player again can do something with them. I feel like they get stuck too much. With the speed they have, I often cannot get out of them. And yeah, they have some life, but the impact is not that powerful compared to what I can get with Centigors. Which says a lot about it. As for the Dread... yeah, they're bound together. If I have to spend 300 on these crap units, I would rather spend 350 and get 3 of Centigors. 3 of them instead of 2 of them for a little bit more. Okay, 4. One can be from Teemo, like Centigors from Teemo when it comes to melee potential. And I would spend way more on Centigors than Pestigors and Gors in general. I think Gors should be, matched together. I don't get it why they're separate, but they would be. I mean, campaign-wise, if they were paired together, it would be so much more easy to use them. They would be useful, because, having every Gor, except Bestigors, having every Gor, it would be really nice. So, absolutely way better. But for some reason you can't. I don't know what the design was behind here, but yeah, absolutely go back to chariots now. So chariots 300. Jesus, absolutely no. Gors, no. Chariots, no. I mean, no. Ignore chariots absolutely if you can. You will have one capacity. You can use that one. That's all you should use, seriously. And now, the beasts. Not the monsters, the beast. Razor Gore Herd, absolute garbage. It has Rampage. And as for the Rampage, you're gonna see in a moment, I tend to have some, lift off some restriction when it comes to Rampage, but this unit is terrible. It gets stuck immediately, it triggers Rampage, it never leaves. It's terrible. Chaos Warhounds, I hate them so much. But because they're infinity, you can have as many as you want. They're better than these ones. Chaos Warhounds with poison require dread. Same goes for Harpies. And Harpies are... no. I don't even want to start why Harpies are terrible, but they're terrible, okay? And Dread for these, outside Dread-wise, they're like these. But because you need to spend Dread, they're terrible. Terrible. And now I can go to monsters. So first, monster should be, of course, Chaos Spawn. And I wonder, if we got Centigors of Zinj, every Gore, why we cannot have Chaos Spawns of every Chaos God? I wonder. Because honestly, Chaos Spawns, the basic ones, the naked ones, are okay only in Mover the Shadowgrave, okay? Okay, let's be fair. Chaos Spawns are always okay. No. I'm conflicted here, you see, because the problem is as always the technology tree. Hold on. Okay, so they get regen from talent. Okay, fine. They get horrible regeneration from Mogre. Where is it? Yeah, they get horrible regeneration. Okay, let's... Because they're tied to the tree, you can give them regen. Okay, they're okay. I would love to have any other chaos spawn of every god. I would use them for sure. If they were, you know, grouped together, all Gors or all chaos spawns, they would be grouped up. I for sure would waste, quote unquote, dread to have some fun. But because I can't, it's a little bit messed up. Here, it's another situation because you can increase capacity of giant and chaos spawn at the same time. It's better because giants are better here than anywhere else. I would say they're very good in this because you can get giant on tier 3. On tier 3 you get giant. You can do so much stuff with these monsters. They're really good. I always appreciate... Okay, not always. In Warhammer 2 I was a bit skeptic. But in Warhammer 3 I always appreciate giant. And they are really good here. The Chaos Giant is... on tier 3? Like, you can get it some nasty, nasty numbers. Of course, Dread is as always limited, so... That's the problem. The difference on Dread are so minimal. I rather save Dread and use it on better unit than waste it. Literally waste it. So that's my problem, but that's the core of mechanic. So if I want to mess around and let's say, oh, I want to play only Gor's army, then yeah, sure. But still, I need to create a post on the official forums so they can group up Gor's at least on Beastmen roster because it's so messed up. But honestly, and when it comes to tier 3? Yeah, it's a tier 3. It requires Giant's Lair, but it's a tier 3. Manticore is also very good. And it's something I would never say. But I fought impossible battles with Manticore. And I won. And I had like 6 of them. It was... I made a challenge. Can you do Beastmen campaign with only single entities? And Manticores carried me through. And I learned to appreciate them. They surprised me how good they are. Despite having Rampage. So, Rampage aside, they're really good. Of course, Rampage hits. It's a moment where you really like, damn it. I need to check if they have some kind of collision damage, because if they do, they're even better. And now, hold on. Now, Minotaurs. And I would say every Minotaur is just amazing for me. Of course, Minotaurs are not invincible, okay? They're tier 4, tier 3, tier 4. And the required dread is, as always, painful. Because every one of them has a separate thingy, a separate window. Again, if they were grouped out, that would be OP, I guess. But Gors, I don't think Gors are that OP that they cannot... Jesus, I come back to this stupid Gors, sorry. But despite Minotaurs being separate, every one of them is worth that dread. And because they are separate, it's easier to build up army with mixed Minotaurs rather than stacking one. Like Bestigor Herd army Doomstack cost more than Minotaurs army Doomstack, because you mixed 3 types of Minotaurs and Bestigors are only 1. So yeah, there is a massive advantage to be split. And every Minotaur, especially with Taurox, will do some nasty things. So despite, I mean, it's important, as I said with my Beastmen, not tutorial, but the tips for the successful campaigns, is every army should have 2 Gorbals and 1 Wargor. So if you go with Minotaurs and you pick up Minotaur Lord, Minotaurs will perform very well, even without Taurox. Question is how much dread you have to spare, and that's pretty much the only limit. I need to think, I need to figure out on some farm, how to farm dread effectively, because I need to check it, because I feel like I'm doing something not efficient enough. And when it comes to final monsters, a Centigore. Centigore was my favorite. Maybe not favorite, but definitely I loved Centigore in tabletop. Because Beastmen were my faction for tabletop. I loved Bestigors on tabletop. I love how they looked. They were great. They were my favorite because they were... Minotaurs were my favorite, okay? But the Bestigors were on my pocket, reachable. I was a teenager, so, you know, having a metal Bestigors, that was... I were buying one every 2 months, but I was proud of myself. And Cygor was lovely. I always loved Cygor, how it looked. But unfortunately, in game, it's below average. I feel like the melee defense is terrible. Cygor, it does some nice missile damage, but the accuracy is not good. It's far from being even okay. So accuracy is garbage. And when I fight Cygor, I burn its ammo, or sometimes I just rush into melee because it's so weak. It gets easily defeated in melee. Cygor is no good in melee. And it hurts me so much because I always like to see it. And next up are the 3 other monsters, and I would say this. Gorgon, amazing. Just amazing, okay? It do crazy stuff. Incarnate Elemental of Beast, amazing. I love this unit. This is one of my favorite units. It does so many good things. I hate it. I hate the fact that they made it crumble. I don't get it, why? But yeah, it's elemental, so it crumbles. Before that, it was God tier. And Jabba's Life. And Jabba's Life is official God tier for Beastmen. Without Mogre, they're borderline God tier. But when you add Mogre to the table, they get Aura of Madness from his talents. Aura of Madness, when they're in melee, it does AoE damage. It's Mortis, Mortis engine effect. It's ridiculous. And of course, all this is added to this talent, is added to Jabba's Life as well. So just, you know, Mogre increase spell resistance. Mogre is making them really tough. And okay, this gives some melee defense and weapon strength and yeah, missile resistance. But this one ability, this one talent makes Jabba's life just so powerful. It's worth to, you know, pay so much dread. It's worth to pay all the dread, seriously, all the dread. And I know it's really fucking expensive to get any one of them. But, you know, reward you get for it, you get just killing machine. And they have Aura of Madness, you know, outside of that. But it's weaker. It's just, I mean, come on. It's just, I forgot, I completely forgot about this. Bile Blood Vortex. I completely phased out that they have also this. Come on, damage per second 8. They have Aura of Madness, weaker. But still they do. So, not borderline. They're the god tier of... They're god tier of Beastmen. And that will be it. A Beastman tier. As you can see, they're split up even. I think that was fair enough. Those fucking Gors. Ugh. But anyway, if you lasted that long, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like what I do. You can help me a lot with it. You can watch my ads that pop in from sometimes on a video. Unless you're ad blocking, then you cannot. But if you do, watch them. Thank you very much, because that's the only income I get from it. Meanwhile, I wish you a great day, great night. Thank you for watching. Love you all. Take care. And bye-bye.